guys, James Wilson-Taylor here for Roxanne. We are backstage at Slam Dunk Festival 2025, straight from the path on the lineup. Tom joins me now. How you doing, man?
I'm good. How are you? Thanks for having me.
No, good to see you, man. Good to see you. Welcome back to the UK for a start. Very exciting. And good to have you on the Slam Dunk lineup, man. This feels like it's a great lineup this year. I think I've heard this band's name on a lot of people's lips this week, and I got to say, people are very, very excited for this set. Yeah, genuinely, people are very, very excited. I think you sit in a really nice place on this lineup.
Yeah, as like the only heavy band. I mean, us and
honestly,
Landmarks.
Yeah, if you like your heavy stuff, you go to see Stray today.
Yeah, and that's cool. I mean, we play back-to-back with Landmarks, too, and like, you know, so I was just talking with them, and I was like, it's literally just us and them, and that's cool. You know, we've done that our whole career, where we love to stick out. You know what I mean? And like, and that's been a good and a bad thing sometimes. You know, so yeah, it should be fun. I mean, it's England. We've never had a bad show in England.
Wow,
fucking
touch wood, man.
Touch that for me. Touch it for me.
Touch
Literally.
the wooden table.
And he touched
well done,
it. There we
cameraman
go.
Mark.
So if the show sucks,
you jinxed it, and we know
I jinxed
why.
It, yeah.
Jinxed it, you know why. No, I think it's going to be a very fun weekend. Tell me about putting this set together, because obviously there's been a couple of singles and stuff out there now, playing some of the new material in there, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, festival sets is always kind of a different beast.
So I don't know when this is airing.
Next week.
But next week, well, we are surprise releasing a album next Friday.
Very exciting.
We are selling it at the festival today. And like our merch person is texting us, like he's like, people are so confused and then stoked. So like,
I love it.
You know, which we're just looking to do something fun. You don't need to hear a single and then a month later another single. Like, put it all out. So like next week you could get it in your local record stores, which I think HMV and some indie spots. It'll be streaming in its entirety as well. And then today we're going to play a brand new song called Shot Caller. And yeah, we're gonna like throw a couple copies into the crowd, and we're gonna tell essentially the Slam Dunk audience will be the first people that we are telling that we have a new album coming out.
Unbelievably cool way to do this, because obviously we got a heads up. We knew this was going to be like a surprise drop. I did not know anything about this Slam Dunk thing today.
We've told like two motherfuckers.
It's so clever, man. What a lovely way to launch, and that's the kind of thing that cuts through, right? Doing little surprise things like this. It's great for the fans. It's great for you guys.
Totally. So I mean, you know, I also manage bands, and you know, so I see, and every rollout of a record is different than the other one I work for. You know, and I like to look at what the people's feedback, you know what I mean? Because like I care about that shit.
Yeah.
And you know, people are frustrated pre-ordering a record, which doesn't help the band or the buyer, because the money will just sit there until the record ships. Absolutely. Which most of the time isn't ahead of the release, which you pre-order it to get that. So like people will buy something 3 months before it comes out, and then it comes later than so they already heard it on digital, and then they get it, and then they probably just put it in their shelf, which I've been guilty of. You know what I mean? Like I'll pre-order a record because I buy records. I don't get them for free. I pre-order a record, it shows up, and I'm like, oh, I've listened to this in its entirety, and I just like it, so I'm not gonna listen to it if I put it in my thing, you know?
Yeah.
So you know, we just trying to do something exciting. And, you know, try to capture, you know, because I hate to sound like an old dinosaur of like, when I was a kid.
Yeah.
However, when I was a kid, I heard Changing the House of Flies on the radio, or I saw the video and that's it. Then I just bought it when it came out. And I, you know, I can vividly remember buying White Pony, you know, on the day it came out, and then that's when I listened to the record.
Yeah.
And like, I love that. And, you know, and here's a story I'll tell too. When I was a kid, like fucking a child. I was like really, really young. And I went to a show at the Sahara in Long Island, and it was Antarabe, shout out Long Island, Antarabe, Every Time I Die, Code 7, 18 Visions, American Nightmare, Poison the Well. One of the best shows I've ever been to in my life.
There's a
one
lineup.
Of the ever. But Code 7 was one of the bands I didn't know. And they have a record called The Rescue, and it wasn't out yet. And they played a bunch of songs from it, and it was awesome. And at the end of it, the singer pulled out a bunch of copies of The Rescue and threw them into the crowd before it came out. We're going to go do that from stage 2.
I love that
because
so
of that
much.
story. So, like, for Code 7, you did that, and I've never forgot it. Like, I mean, we're talking this is 24 years ago, 23 years ago. I've never forgot that. So, like, and I just remember, like, man, that person that caught it, what a special experience.
Yeah.
And so, like, again, like our merch person's like, people are so confused. So now that Slam Dunk, which the UK gave us so much, they've given us so much. Like, you know, we were always like a band where in America, like, people didn't really like us, you know what I mean? Like, bands did. So we got opportunities because, like, our friends would take us out. But, like, you know, we always just did okay, right? But then we would come overseas and Europe and England, like, they just loved us. And, like, they gave us so much. They gave us our drummer. You know what I mean? Like, we met Architects took us on tour, and, you know, Craig was their drum tech. We met Craig. And, you know, Craig's one of my best friends. And, like, now he's, like, a main songwriter in the band to make me and him write most of it together. And, like, it's so much fun. And, like, you know, that's why, like, we always say, like, we're from New York and the UK. You know what I mean? Because, like, we
really are.
And, like, so I love the UK. It's such a big part of our history. So, like, we're like, let's go tell them first. Like, we weren't going to tell anyone, ever. No press, no nothing. And then we're like, let's take out some ads and put it at the festival. So people would be like, that release date is next week. Like, what the fuck? Telling you, you know, and, like, telling some other people. And then we're like, let's throw these. I was like, this Code 7 story. Let's throw them in there. Let's fucking sell it. And then they'll be like, dude, I saw it. And I bought it a week earlier there. A Day to Remember just did this with their record, too, which, like,
went very well for them.
It went fucking awesome. And, like, and then that's where I was just like, I'm right. That they're listening to, which is cool, is that there's got to be a new fun way to release records, you know. And I work for the band Counterparts, and, like, Counterparts, we surprise released our record. Didn't tell anyone. It wasn't in stores because, like, even right now, like, our record is technically leaking because we shipped it so that it could be in. We wanted it to be in record stores the day that you found out, so that if you wake up and you check your phone and you see an announcement that we have a new album out, you could drive to your store and buy it, right? Like, that was an important thing for us. But the stores are leaking it, you know, and people are finding it, which is fine. Counterparts, we didn't put it in stores so it wouldn't leak. We told no one. I told my wife, and, like, that's it, you know, like, and it was cool. And that was, like, the first time where people were like, holy shit. They're like, the whole thing's available because, you know, whether it's different types of, like, entertainment, like TV shows, like Netflix, they give you all of it.
Drop it at once,
they drop it all at once. And guess what? Guess who hates that? Fucking nobody. You know what I mean? And, like, and there's two big things that. Am I talking a lot?
No, this is great.
Okay, right. I'm
genuinely fascinating.
I'm from New York. I'm also Italian.
Dude,
I can't shut up.
Genuinely amazing.
So there's two things that also led to this decision where. So I love the game Metal Gear Solid, right? And I'm not even a big gamer, but that was, like, my game. I love Hideo Kojima, like, awesome. So, but they announced they're remastering this, and they're putting it out on PS5 for Snake Eater. And I was, like, so stoked. I watched the trailer, and at the end it says coming 2025, and this was 2024. I'm like, I gotta wait a fucking year? Like, why did you show me this? I was so bummed. Second example was I love the show Squid Games, and season 2. I remember looking at the trailer, and at the end it said September 26th, and I was like, that's in 10 days. Fuck yes. I'm stoked. It's the day after Christmas. I'm going to watch the whole fucking thing. Guess what? I've watched it 3 times through. And, like, I was so excited that I could just plow through it. You know what I mean? And, like, when we roll albums out and we give you a song, the second song never performs like the first one. The third song doesn't perform like the second one. And it just, like, there's, like, not as excitement because you know it's coming. But if we wake up Friday, you could listen to it on your way to work, and you listen to it on your way home from work, and you could hopefully spin it 3 times like I watched the show, you know? So anyway, just trying to do something and trying to think about how I like to take in entertainment, because a lot of people will say, oh, fucking the short attention span. And I'm like, yeah, I have it too. Like, I like getting shit all at once. I don't like the waiting, like, and then also waiting, and then maybe it shows up, you know, and you know, and sometimes pre-order stuff can be cool, but, like, a shorter window, you know what I mean? Like, some younger bands need it because, like, they're still growing up. Like, for Stray, it's like, we've been a band for a long time, you know, and
the audience is there, the following is there.
The audience there, and, like, you know, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, it's all good.
Honestly, it's so exciting. I love stuff like this. I love different types of release like this. It cuts through, it keeps people interested, but also doing something like this at an event like this is such an extra layer to it. I absolutely adore that, man.
Absolutely.
Well done. Really, really
thank you so
clever
much,
idea.
and it's all because the UK has given us so much. Like, back when being in a band was difficult, like, we didn't make a lot of money, and again, we played America and people kind of didn't give a fuck, and, like, you know, like, the UK gave us a career. I mean, we headlined the Roundhouse, like, in 23, man. You know, like, we didn't sell it out, but still drew more than anyone ever imagined. Like, you know, like, over 2,000 people, like, and it was, like, such a fucking, it was just so cool, man. So I love this country, you know, the countries in the UK, and, like, It's just awesome, man. Like,
Yeah, man. No, it's so special, really. I mean, let's talk about the album as well. We should do that.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah. Obviously, people are kind of able to hear it if they pick up a copy and say Clockworked, right? And I love on the ads, it's very clear that, like, no, we've got some messages on this and you should pay some attention. And I really, really like and respect that. Tell me about that idea.
Yeah, I mean, you know, oh, man. I'm trying to think where to start. It's, I mean, look, we've never really hit it, you know. We kind of wear our emotions on our sleeve, which is like, I don't want to say it's all it is, like a downplay it, like, but we just talk about stuff that affects us and affects other people, because like we have the privilege of touring the world and meeting all these different people that come from different cultures, Japan, to Africa, to Canada, to England, to Europe, to America, like, and like, you know, we just have, I don't know, man. So like there's a lot of stuff going on the record, and like, you know, it's, I don't want to say it's like same old Stray, but it, you know, it is. It's like what's fucking with us now, you know what I mean? And like, there's a lot going on here, you know what I mean? Like there's like Shot Caller, like we wrote Shot Caller before that. You know, I hope you could edit this out if you want, but I'm just gonna I'm gonna say it. You know, we made Shot Caller before that United Healthcare CEO got clipped, and it's essentially about that, like how these people aren't gonna take this shit no more. You know what I mean? Like how people get denied healthcare after paying for it for 20 years, and I was like, man, people gotta start fucking. They're gonna start fighting back.
Yeah.
And then we made that song, and then it happened. We're like, motherfucker, that's
it's crazy.
It's, you know, so
crazy.
It was, and you know, and like yeah, I mean, dude, there's a lot. I don't even know what to touch to, but like we never hide it. We've always talked about, we always wore our heart on our sleeve and just talk about stuff that like affects us and sometimes doesn't affect us. Like Kubrick's Stare, like we wrote that song. Like the idea of the song came from me because I was on one of the apps and I watched a video of a guy get shot in the face in a road rage incident. And you know what I did? Just moved on. And I just went to the next one and I was like, wait a second. That should be the craziest fucking thing anyone ever sees. Yeah. And I just moved on because I don't want to say I didn't care, but like it just didn't really affect me.
Desensitized to it. Everyone
100%.
is. Yeah.
So like Kubrick Stare is about that, you know, like the whole like you see it and it's just like, all right, you know, which is
man.
Like while you know people have been able to look the other way with Palestine and shit, you know, or it's just like, I mean, I don't know how you can because it's so awful, but it's like part of me is like people just see awful shit every day. So like, you know, if some people
get used to it
because
in a weird
it's
way.
Also just hard to live. You know, it's hard to survive, you know, so it's like if people, like, part of me is like if people have a hard time, like, sympathizing for people that aren't themselves, because they're probably struggling for their own family, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm getting older in my life, and I got kids, so, like, I have, like, a different outlook at life, but, you know, it's like, and I'm talking in circles a little bit, but it's really just about the stuff that affects us, the stuff that we see, and some of the stuff like we kind of had planned before it happened. Like there's a song on the record, track 2, Fuck Them All to Hell, that was supposed to come out on election day, and it was actually, I regret it a lot. It's still on the record, still love the song, still stand behind it, but we didn't end up going with it on election day because of Kamala Harris's vice president pick. I don't fuck with Kamala Harris at all, or the Democrats at all. However, with Tim Walz, and you know, he has like some progressive bones in his body. Like it was kind of like, you know, what if this is a good thing and we're kind of standing in the way of it or something? And so we kind of advised against it, and we're just like, let's just put it on the record and it'll be, and let's see what happens. It is what it is, whatever. We also wrote that song when Biden was going to be the president, or be the Democratic nominee, and it was Biden versus Trump, and it was just like, man, fuck all of this. That's why the song's called "Fuck Them All to Hell," because Biden is just as it's a different awful, right? Yeah. So like anyway, but then it was in the studio. We finished the song, and that's why like the chorus is, the only way I'm writing your name is on a motherfucking headstone. Like, you know, not on a ballot, on a headstone, you know. So what? It's typical Stray. That's just how we are. But you know, but it was because it was Biden and Trump. And then after we wrote it and finished it, they switched it, and then we just pulled back on the idea, which I regret. I wish we did it. You know what I mean? But whatever. It's whatever.
Man, but I just really respect that about you guys, honestly, the fact that you will speak so openly and so pointedly and specifically in songs, because Yes, I can understand the struggle sometimes for bands to feel like they can say exactly what they want to say, and you guys, you do it, and I really, really respect your honesty with that. To be honest,
Yeah.
it makes all the sense in the world. And I think it's why people react to you guys, man. It's like people see the honesty, they see the authenticity.
It's
and they
why
really respect
people
it.
outside of America react to us.
Sure, we'll go with
For
that.
us, it's like we
But
play.
we're in the UK, baby,
that's
so
right,
it's all
That's
good.
why it's funny because in America, we'd play Denver and we'd crush it. Like Denver's awesome, and then we'd go play Dallas and 100 people are there, and it's just like, all right, well, there's a clear probably a reason why. But and then that's funny where it's just like we go to Australia, we go to Canada, we go to UK and Europe and crush it. And it's just like they're fucking with us in America, so they just don't. You know what I mean? So it is what it is.
Hey, you said it already. You're a band from New York and the UK, man.
That's
it's
right,
the second
baby.
home over here. It's really exciting.
Honorary English person.
100%, 100%. Dude, I'm going to let you go get ready for the show, but genuine, absolute pleasure to chat to you.
Hell yeah.
Congrats on this record. I'm
bro.
so impressed with the rollout, dude. It's
Thank you so
really,
much.
really clever
Hell yeah.
idea. Good on you. All right, and we'll see you for the set later on. Nice
Yes,
one.
sir.
Tom,
All right.
everybody.